Alright, so in this video we're going to look at 3D figures for the first time. Up until this point we've been working with 2D figures or plane figures. So we're going to start to look at 3D figures and we're going to learn how to classify them by names, and we're also going to look at the features of them. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so first of all, this is a solid. A solid is a three-dimensional figure, and it has a length, it has a width, and it has a height. This is one example of a solid. This particular solid is called a cube, but it's the easiest way to demonstrate the height, which is from the top to the bottom, the length, which is across the bottom, and the width. The width is the biggest feature of a three-dimensional shape, and it's what gives it its depth. So every 3D figure has faces. A face is the flat surface of a 3D figure. So this is a face, this is a face, this is a face, and there's even faces on this 3D figure right now that we can't see. If we turn this figure around, we can see even more faces. And if we flipped it upside down, there's even more faces that we can't see. So the face is the flat surface. Then we have something called an edge. So an edge is where two faces meet. So this right here is an edge. This right here is an edge. This right here is an edge. This right here is an edge, so on and so forth. And it's where two faces come together. And again, just like with the faces, I could flip this figure upside down and I can turn it around and there would be even more edges. And that's going to be the difference with 3D figures, is we're going to have to start to see things that are on the other side and that are on the bottom, without actually flipping it around. We're going to have to flip it around in our mind. Okay, so a vertex is the corner where two edges meet. So again, we have faces, and then where faces meet, those are edges. And then here's a vertex. So where edges meet, those are where the vertexes are. And you can think of vertexes as the pointy things. Okay, so these are your vertexes. So your vertexes are going to be your points. Here's one over here. And again, I could flip this shape over, I can turn it around, and there would be yet more vertexes on this shape. They're the corners of the shape. So we have faces, we have edges, and we have vertexes. So what kind of 3D figures do we have? So first we're going to be working with something called prisms. So a prism has two bases that are parallel and congruent. So for example, this is a rectangular prism, okay? This is a triangular prism, and this is a cube. All the other faces are rectangles. So on this rectangular prism here, this is a base, and this is a base, this is a base, and this is a base, this is a base, and this is a base. And all the other faces are rectangles. Then we have something called a pyramid. So a pyramid is always going to end in a vertex at the top, and that's how you're going to know that it's a pyramid. A pyramid only has one base, and in this example here, this is a square pyramid or a rectangular pyramid, it's sometimes called. And so you'll see it has a square or rectangle bottom. And this is a triangular pyramid, and so you'll see that the base is a triangle. And then all the other faces are going to be triangles. So you'll see here that all of the sides that stand up are made up of triangles. And they come together to form the vertex at the top. Then we have something called a cylinder. Now, all we're going to be doing is talking about cylinders, classifying them. We're not going to be doing volume or surface area of cylinders, but we do need to know what they are. Okay, so a cylinder has two bases that are circular. So here's one base, here's the other base, and then it has a curved surface going all the way around. Okay, there are no vertexes on a cylinder, but we do have edges and faces. Then we have a cone. So a cone has one base that is circular. So here's the circular base. And it has a curved surface right here, and it comes to a point, which would be your vertex. Then we have a sphere. So a sphere is just a round, solid figure. There's one face in a sphere, no edges and no vertexes. Alright, so now let's put all of that together, okay? So, what is the name of this 3D figure? So this here is called a rectangular prism. Okay, how many faces does it have? So it has one here, two, then on the other side, 3, on the bottom, 4, 5, and then on this side, 6. So 6 faces. How many edges? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And then how many vertices? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And that's a rectangular prism. Alright, let's keep practicing. Next one, this is called a cube. And a cube is almost a smushed version of a rectangular prism. So we're still going to count, but it should give us similar results. Okay, so how many faces? So I have one on top, okay, another on the other side, so that's 2, 3 for the bottom, 4 for the one facing us, 5 for the side, and 6 on the other side. Okay, how many edges? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And then how many vertices? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Alright, then we have our next shape. So this is called a triangular prism. And it's a prism because it has rectangles that are the faces, but the bases are triangles. So let's first count how many faces we have. So we have 1 and 2 that are triangles, and then we have 3, 4, and 5 when we count the rectangles. Then let's go ahead and count the edges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And then let's count the vertices. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. So our next shape here, this is going to be called a square pyramid, but it's also referred to as a rectangular pyramid. Sometimes this bottom is a square, and sometimes this bottom here is a rectangle. And so, we refer to it as both. So let's go ahead and count the faces. So our bottom here is 1, and then around the side we have 2, 3, 4 in the back, and 5 on the side. Okay, Let's go ahead and count our edges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's count our vertices. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, now here we have the triangular pyramid. This is a triangular pyramid because the base is a triangle. It's sitting on a triangle instead of a square or rectangle like the last one. So let's count our faces. So the bottom is 1, and then we have 2, 3, and the back is 4. Now we have our edges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And our vertices. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now here we have a sphere. So a sphere is one complete face. It has 0 edges. So a lot of people may say that this right here is an edge. It's not. That's just drawn there to show that it's a 3D figure. It's drawn to show depth. So instead of just drawing a circle, because if I just drew a circle, it would look like a plain 2D figure. But we just draw those lines, and that's a terrible sphere that I'm drawing. But we just draw those lines to show, to sort of make it look like a 3D figure, but that is not an edge there. And it has 0 vertices. Okay, this here is called a cone. So it has 2 faces. It has one on the bottom, and then the one that goes all the way around. And it has 1 edge, and it has 1 vertex, 1 vertex. Okay, this is called a cylinder. So the cylinder has 1 face at the top, 1 face at the bottom, and then 1 that goes all the way around. So 3 total. It has 1 edge going around the top and 1 edge going all the way around the bottom. So 2 total. And it has 0 vertices. Alright, that is the end of this lesson for the introduction to 3D figures. Just remember your definitions for faces, edges, and vertices.